Hey buddy, I don't have any bread for you.
Hi. Oh.
He's big.
Yeah, it's like as tall as me. Give me your phone. Let's see if...
Oh, look, his buddy. Go grab some bread.
Okay, wait.
I don't have anything. Hey.
Oh my god. Oh, those are the ones that sound like dinosaurs. Wait, look. Oh, wow. No fear.
I have more fear than he does. It's a big beak. I feel it will take time for me to join their flock. What is going on, guys? So today working on chip, got a lot of stuff to put on. Hopefully I can get it all on. I'm missing some miscellaneous hardware, nuts, bolts kind of thing, but got a lot of stuff to put on, and I'm gonna try to start mocking it up now. But first I have to do what I didn't want to do. I have to pull the spindles off of the K member over here. I gotta pull these spindles off and, you know, take the wheels off, take the brakes off, pull the spindles off, take the shock off, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to get new ones. I mean, these ones are a little oxidized. There's a little bit of surface rust on them, but I'm gonna pull them off, clean them up. Hopefully everything's good. We'll see how clean these are. Obviously I don't want to just pull all of this apart because right now it rolls pretty easily, but once I make it not roll easily, it's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt. Well, I was so close to getting that spindle off, just the one, and then the rain came, a lot of it, good amount of rain. Everything else on the front end of this car is going to be new, so it's kind of a bummer to have this old guy on there, but what are you going to do? You know, what we're replacing, this is the old wheel bearing. It's pretty cooked. I mean, it doesn't spin all that well, and it's just all around old, so I figured I would just replace it. Got a brand new one, brand new Moog one right here, and if you see there, it has a ring on it for a wheel speed sensor. So this one does not have the ring on it for a wheel speed sensor, so we will be able to put a wheel speed sensor on this easily. These spindles already have the provision for it, and I already have one right here, so should be easy enough to just put this wheel speed sensor in, and then there's already the wiring connector and everything that I took off the old harness, so we should be able to just wire this all up kind of somewhat like normal. It might have went through the ECU, but I'm not 100% sure, so figure out the wiring. But it's nice to have the mounting for the wheel speed sensor. I'm going to try to put one to the dash, and then I'm going to get another one to go to the Holly so that I can data log wheel speed, front wheel speed sensor, and then I can do a drive shaft speed sensor in the back, so that opens up the door for some kind of traction control, which is kind of cool. Oh, brakes. So these right here are a pretty big front brake. This is a Cobra brake, so this is a lot beefier than what we were running on there, and basically beefier than any drag brake on the market. And then for rotors, we have this big 13-inch vented rotor, which was my goal. I'm not doing this for more stopping power, although it will have good stopping power, but I'm not doing it for more stopping power. I know a front skinny won't stop that well because you don't have much contact patch on the ground. I am doing this solely to have vented rotors for mountain driving, because nothing kind of worries me more than losing brakes on a downward mountain road. It's kind of one of those things that, you know, when it happens, there's really not much you can do about it besides kind of cross your fingers. So kind of one of my big things that I want on this car, and that's one of them. I am a little worried if they'll clear the wheels. I haven't ordered wheels yet for the front, but I have a couple different options, and hopefully these do clear. I mean, there's no real like book that just tells you everything, so you kind of just have to try a little bit. These UPR A-arms are super nice. They even come with the red race bushings or the black street bushings, so you can decide which ones you want. I am obviously going with the red ones, but I could just put these black ones back in the bag, and you know, if I ever need them, they're on hand in case, you know, something weird happens. But these red ones should be perfect. Super nice bushings. These sleeves are really nice, well machined. And then even the nut that goes on top here, the washer, is extra thick washer. Really nice kit. The directions really easy to follow. You just have to put these together, a little bit of grease with them, and put them in there. So really easy. Gonna get this other front one on there so we can start mocking up the front end. Also, I didn't show you guys, but I used an undercoating spray on the whole underside of the car. There was a little bit of surface rust, so I figured I'd just let it eat. If I do have to weld anything onto the bottom, I'd have to grind it down anyways. So I figured before I put any fuel lines or brake lines or anything, I would just let her eat on that. I used Rust-Oleum underbody spray, and one can cover the whole thing. Well, you guys know I always use ratchet straps. It's kind of the third, fourth, fifth hand around here, and this job is no different. So obviously I don't have a shock to go here, a strut, coilover, whatever you guys want to call it. There is the OEM ones, but it has a bracket on top, and unless I like cut it down or modified it, it doesn't want to come apart. So it's a little old. I don't really need to use it, but here it is. I still do need to get a nut for the steering, but I figured it would help keep things from, you know, twisting and turning up here while I put everything together, make sure everything, you know, fits together, and then go back and kind of shore everything up. Nothing's really too tight yet besides the axle nut, or I mean, it's not really an axle nut, wheel bearing nut. So that's tight, ready to put the brakes on, and then I can have everything assembled, and then just once the strut comes in, just put the strut on and we're good to go. Guys, look at how awesome this looks. That front brake setup is so nice compared to the old combo. This is just like night and day difference. Much better. Huge brake kit, 13-inch rotor. I know that doesn't matter, but it was the only real rotor brake combo that was in stock that I could find, you know, for a reasonable price that was vented. Vented is my main goal, like I've said 100 times, but I think a lot of you guys will understand if you've ever been around mountain roads. Vented rotor is nice. Maybe it's pointless. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I'd rather just go for it now. And these are cheaper than the small brakes that I have on the Camaro. So, not bad. Cleaning up these spindles is a pretty messy job, so I gotta basically drill out. So I have to drill out the rivets on here, and that's kind of a messy job in itself, and then hammer them out with a little punch, and then sand all this down, clean it up, get it ready to put on, and then we can have close to a roller, like very close. This is the old setup right here, and it's you know, not terrible, but we wanted something a little better for what we were trying to do. Let's see if we can. There we go. So here is the old brake caliper, which really isn't terrible, but it's just like a single piston brake caliper, nothing too great. So we figured while we're replacing stuff, I would just do all of it. Now I could have definitely run this. This is a vented rotor. Could have ran this same style, but I wanted to upgrade. A little bigger, fills out the wheel well a little more. A little heavier, of course, but I'm not all that worried about the extra pounds. This whole front kit was pretty cheap too. I got it all brand new, and it was $300 for all of it. So really not too bad for all brand new stuff. I can't imagine, you know, beating that. That's why I didn't go for like a big upgrade of Brembo or Willwood or StopTech or something like that, because this price is just kind of really difficult to beat. So I'm prepping the 8/8 here to weld the tubes. You can see they're kind of just like pressed in. They're not welded in, so likely that you can twist the tube. So I want to make sure that that obviously doesn't happen. So kind of battle ready this thing. A lot of companies do this, but I'm just gonna put a couple tacks, kind of put some beads around it with the MIG welder, and it should be sturdy enough. Okay. Goodness, well, you guys really caught that one. There has been some crazy thunderstorms. There's Bowser. Oh no, my motor's getting wet. Let's see if we get another one. Oh, I feel one coming. Woo-wee! You could just feel it, like right before it happened, like I could feel like, oh, it's about to come. A couple weeks ago, I could have sworn that the trailer got hit. I was sitting in my office and I could have sworn. Okay, well, I'm gonna get back to grinding. All right, well, I'm both excited and scared to try my hand at this over here. Feronius Trans Steel MIG. This thing is a good machine, and let's get this thing set up. So I ground down this little spot so I can ground it, and then really just need to go ahead and let her eat. I'm gonna try to be very careful because I don't want to put too much heat into it to warp it. Man, well, I am fighting to freaking get this thing welded. It is such a thick piece of steel, and I'm not exactly an expert welder. I don't know if I'm an expert at anything, but definitely not welding. Trying to figure out settings and stuff. I don't have scrap 1/2-inch thick plates of this steel to test on, so I'm kind of just winging it. I'm sure somebody that was an expert on this machine and welding could probably have this thing dialed in a few seconds, but I'm not that guy. It's not me. So I'm gonna keep messing with this. But for now, guys, that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Keep it saucy. I'll see you next time.